Alright, and we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. We are in fact live. Awesome. Alright, hello everyone. Ace here. Welcome to the live stream. I'm joined today with returning guest Urosocium.
Hello everyone.
Whoopsie daisy, I forgot. For those curious, I was downloading the latest map pack that just came out for FHSW, so they just released, their European community just released the 4.3 map pack, so a lot of new stuff like that giant 800mm railroad artillery piece that they've added into it.
We need bigger guns.
What?
We need bigger guns.
Yeah. Ruby says hi. Or Roby says hi, I guess. Ilya says boo. Hello, everyone. But yeah, so they added that. They also added the Karl Garat, which is a 600mm mobile mortar system. The 800mm is a railroad artillery piece, I think I mentioned, but they actually, testing it out, they actually did some pretty cool stuff with that. So they actually got the reloading procedure down, basically. So you have to use a ramrod to ram the powder charge and the shell into the piece to reload it.
It has a motherfucking crane for reloading.
What?
A crane to move the shell.
In this case, I think they had, well, yeah, a little bit, but okay, so I think the way it works is they have basically a little railroad system on top of the gun itself, and so you push the shell and the propellant along the rail system. Then that's where the crane bit comes in that I think you're talking about. But they also have little elevators at the back of the thing to carry the ammo up.
Man. There is a thing as too much gun.
Roby says, when will you guys releasing the Battlefield 1918 3.4 update? I'm so excited and can't wait anymore. I know we're still working on some stuff. I'm gonna see and talk to the guy about some of the other guys about some of the stuff. I know we were thinking about we might end up. I know there's a few other things we're thinking of adding, so I'll have to talk to him about that real quick before we actually come out with the. But I know that we have at least one new faction that we're going to be adding, so maybe more, but we'll see about that as time goes on. Ilya says, do you guys shave hair from your nipples? I don't. Do you, Oros?
What kind of question is that?
I don't know!
Of course I fucking don't! What the hell? Oh god.
Well, okay, so with that, let's actually get into the actual comic itself. Star Wars Empire, issue number 11, Death Before Dishonor. But yeah, I know we're going to be adding in some other stuff with 1918, so we've also been talking about stuff after 3.4, but we'll see how that goes. But anyways.
And after all of that, you are going to add Metal Slug.
What?
If you could add the Metal Slug factions.
One more time, please.
Metal Slug.
Metal Sleuth?
Chat. I don't think I can pronounce this correctly.
Well, if you type it into the chat, maybe I can have a look.
Okay.
Metal Slug. Okay.
I was pronouncing it so badly, or what?
Well, no, I think it was just I think what caught me off guard was, well, the mod I work on is World War One, so...
No, I know, but I mean, for as advanced as a lot of shit in that game is, there is a lot of World War... Well, I think it is World War II, maybe, with the rifles and like that.
Yeah, some of it. Then again, though, it is also a fantasy. That is a fantasy setting, so...
Yeah, very much.
Ilya says, slag, okay. Alright, so anyways, let's get back to the comics, shall we?
I think I was voicing the old guy the last time.
Yeah, I think you were.
I will not bore you with the details of my difficulties leading up to my meeting General Solo.
The air of the moon of Yavin is sweet with jungle flower scents. General John Dodana breathes deeply before continuing his oration. How much to tell, what to leave unsaid. A memorial service is no place to tell the bald truth.
So we are still going to lie about the shit that this guy did.
Yeah.
Well, let us just say the Imperials were reluctant to let me enjoy my retirement. General Sewell and his team negotiated me a great risk to themselves before that requirement was explosively put short.
Ilya says, Ace, are you excited for Fields of Valor or whatever? New World War One Ultimate General, but yes, I am actually. I think it's called West Front 19 or World War One West Front or something like that. But I know which one. But I know what you're talking about. It's just a difficult name to remember. It's the same people. It's made by Petroglyph. So let me look it up here. But yeah, it's basically, imagine Total War, but set in World War One. The Great War Western Front, that's what it's called. So yeah, that one does actually have me interested.
I didn't know about this. Looks interesting.
Yep, made by Petroglyph, the same guys that did Star Wars Empire, and, well, before they were Petroglyph, a lot of these guys were Westwood, so also the same guys that made Command and Conquer.
Well, I am not going to say this cannot fail, because just in case, but it has all the looks for a good game.
Yes, it does. And it'll be coming out on... Oh, it's even going to be relatively cheap. It's going to be only $40 for even the most expensive version. In a day and age where everything is $70, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say that. If you are looking, 60. If not, 70.
Mm-hmm. But we're once again in that age where gaming on PC is typically $10 cheaper than on consoles, so...
Yeah, that too.
Ilya says, yeah, I'm currently getting through Ultimate General Civil War. Pretty good one. Yes, it is. I have played a little bit of that. Definitely a fun little rad strategy, real-time tactics hybrid there. Well, technically that one is more into the real-time tactics side of it. It basically, Ultimate General Civil War is more about recreating the historical battles, but you do have a fair amount of planning to it, but you still go through a set campaign of sorts. Ilya says you pay for your game somehow. Most, but there are some games that are freeware that are pretty good, actually.
Let's just say we pay for the good games, and the rest, well, it's a big virtual sea.
Well, there's some games, like I said, that are actually legitimately free. Like Red Alert: A Path Beyond is it's a fan-made first-person shooter of. Well, you're familiar with Command & Conquer Renegade from 2002. It's that, but it's set in the Red Alert universe, or the Red Alert timeline. So, you get a lot of Red Alert 1 stuff that you can run around as in. Yeah, you can run around you can play as Allied spies, for example, and sneak in enemy buildings, or...
What I remember about that game is the amount of hate it generated amongst my friends when we played. Because it was a good game. But as usual, when we were teenagers, no one wanted to lose.
Elias says, the only game I bought so far is Project Zomboid. I didn't regret it. Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of which, has anyone tried out that new Atomic Hearts game?
Atomic what?
Atomic Hearts. Its best way to describe it is Russian BioShock.
I haven't, but I have seen Arch play it. Looks nice.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've also heard some very bizarre things regarding refrigerators.
Are you speaking about the upgrade machine?
Yeah, the upgrade machine that really, really has a thing for the player character.
Look, you cannot king say. Okay, not in this year and age.
So, yeah, anyways, let's get back to the comic itself. I'm going to voice this, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't get any more speed out of this thing. They're gaining.
If speed was part of your getaway plan, this ordeal was a strange choice for a ship, Captain.
General Rune Sewell, officer of the Rebel Alliance. Whoa, that was close. So, what do you suggest, Captain Dodonna?
Set my right to your touchy. Back, forth, back, forth. Then break. Then break it. Then church it. Collision course. As they evade, so intervene your back, take yourself.
That's crazy.
It's the only option. Trust me. This is your piloting skill.
I'm in charge here. Gunners, report.
With our nerves sealed, all racers are like spitting at them. They will do it. It will work. So, answer me.
There is no reaction, only a face frozen by inner conflict. It is an instant of illuminated character, a terrible moment shared by the pair.
Frozen. Oh my word.
It is something that can taint the air between two men forever.
Hang on. Here we go.
As Dodonna executes the tactic, all feel the wrenching shift of momentum. In a flash, they are charging a ship of startled Imperials. As the Imperials evade as expected, but not quickly enough.
No!
For a moment, it is uncertain which ship is exploding. So bright are the ionized gases, so loud the fragments pelting the rebel ship's skin. But blessed star-flecked space returns, and with it, silence. No words are said. Two men wait, each wondering what the other might say. Prepare to engage hyperdrive. Coordinates locked.
The rescue and escape were satisfactory. It was 2 rooms for me to take measure of the man. Only after the briefing did I begin to appreciate General Sewell's quality.
This man is a genius, Senator Mothma. You should have seen it. He saved our sorry behinds by turning the tables on those imps. He charged them and they panicked. Pow! I mean, we were there to save him, but he saved us. Let me read some of the comments. It says, I also don't buy stuff from Chinese companies if possible, and I spare toilet paper. Or it says, don't buy Chinese, it's bad for everyone else. Yes, I'm a woke moralist. How do you know? Louder the fragments, don't you get no sound in space? Or it says, no, you don't, except when you do. Ilya says, I know there are pew laser sounds in movies. Also, the moment that something, of course, hits the hull of your ship, you're going to hear it too, though. That's the thing, because in fact, if anything, it should actually be louder once it actually hits your ship. If some debris hits your ship, I mean.
Yeah, the only problem is if it is the last thing you hear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem.
Shall we continue then?
Sure.
Okay. I must point out that the greatest share of the saving was done by General Sewell and his crew.
Nonetheless, I guess I can voice it, okay? Nonetheless, okay. Captain Dodonna, this confirms our judgment in seeking you out. I ask you formally, will you join our cause? You will, given your experience, be commissioned as a general.
My antipathy for the Empire is invigorated. And the feeling demise. To whom I report, you, Senator.
No, General Sewell, if that's acceptable.
Yes, of course.
Never were two men less well matched. But Dodonna cannot escape a certain admiration for the man. Rune Sewell rush to award credit, his instinct to seize the moment, to change the course of their relations. These are the unusual qualities.
General Sewell and I immediately set the challenge of arming and producing fast gathering alliance forces, including establishing the space, spare parts, and force assessment, and cavalry cards. This is never ending. We could be out there, then when it hurts. No, fuck, it was.
That's okay, that's okay.
You are a restless warrior, so an ancient wisdom says an army fights on its stomach, which I will add also spare parts, tactical assets, organizational planning.
Give me a squad of fighters and a fat Imperial objective, and I'll inflict some damage. Our people are dying out there. Star systems capitulating one by one.
I understand. We must move beyond guerrilla warfare. We must build a fleet that can win space battles before we can repeat the France.
We value your wisdom, but you're old. Leave the fighting to us, and in our own way, 1,000 fire-offs can take down a Klystrodon, and a score of them, stinging around the eyes, can drive it off a cliff. Don't be offended, but it's our lives on the line. Jan Dodonna reviews the events that brought him here. He was kidnapped, albeit to save his life. His choice was less the product of personal conviction than an obvious obligation to his saviors. Perhaps it is not his place to tell them how to fight their war. This is strange, though, an unscheduled mission departing. Could it be Rune Sewell is off to show an old man how space battles are fought?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, no. General Sewell has returned from his mission and wants to see you.
A startling but pleasing sight greets Dodonna's sleepy eyes. A Corellian corvette, a magnificent ship along with most of its fighters and utility ships Runes had taken. And what is this? Hyperdrive units. We raided an Imperial outpost. Along with the corvette, we have 20 hyperdrive units, perfect for retrofitting any ship we can get our hands on. Plus good synthesizers, vegetable powder, even small arms. Rune Sewell launched into the battle story with gusto. Their earlier disagreement went unmentioned. Dodonna had sought to buy and beg from friendly sources. Sewell favored the stealing, at great risk from the Empire. A most puzzling man. Only rarely do the gas giant Yavin and its son conspire to deliver true night on the little moon. So the stars themselves are an infrequent and wondrous sight. But the moon's night brings other mysterious visions. Look, there's one.
So, what are these lights?
Nobody knows. We've sent out sentries. People have stayed overnight in trees. Droids even tiny spy eyes fail to capture a clear shot. They're never close enough to see directly. Maybe a glowing insect, maybe a plant, but a shy one. Now it's gone, but there'll be another one in a moment. That's what we must be to the Empire here. Then they're vanishing, returning.
Perhaps so.
Never do that. Never give up what you believe. Fight for it, man. You were right before. We'll never win the war with mere guerrilla tactics. We do need a space navy, and you're the man to build it, with me.
You don't have for a younger man. I will provide. You never see in his reluctant way. Like so many of us. Honest. Faith in myself and my judgment. Very fun.
Masla!
It could be room somewhere as more fun. Words. Lastname. Which reminds me of a mistake. I seldom action same. This ones can have get you, young Thomas. But even I, Steve his battle, had occasion to hear him so deeply involved. Massive. With each shot he took at the Imperium. He may not refuse to share the origin of the animal. When I asked one, I was. Another man said it wasn't a small problem. So some seems to serve.
You might want to speak up. You're cutting in and out constantly.
Ah, okay. So we'll have queries. They're in 40 seconds of wall. So we share our living space with a good number of Fernin. So we'll tolerate the insects, flyers, the stuff. With the one for a crawler, I see smiles that give me this time. People alive.
I'll get you.
What the? He almost killed a man.
Yep. Weapons discharge. Battle stations. Dodonna sees a wildness in his eyes and feels again the unknowability of every human being.
Runes, calm down. It's me.
Rune Sewell, rasping, breathes, suggests a death struggle among sworn enemies before an episode of pest control. More than an episode of pest control. Little things always get away. Little things.
What if the battle of the one was on? But the speech he made on Galactic Union Day was something he never heard. I see nothing.
You're still cutting in and out, so you still, I think, need to speak a bit more.
Want me to repeat it?
Go ahead.
Okay. What if the Battle of the Bunker was something he never quite lived down? The speech he made on Galactic Union Day was something he never heard. I see nothing. Better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
You see, they're not motivated by seeking freedom. We are. They only know fear. They wince because they've been trained for years to expect punishment and intimidation. And when they wince, there's an opening, and we strike. But we have a vision to fight for. A free galaxy, a democracy, where we all may have a say, and the weakest among us are protected. Hold that close. When those blaster bolts are filling the air with their ozone tang, and when your comrade falls with a scream and your nerve is tested. We're fighting for something. Something other than the naked power, which is all the Empire cares about. No, we want something fine, something precious. A galaxy of countless individual lives, all of them safe, free, and unafraid.
Nothing so monsters as fighting us as aesthetic purpose. In our silver, I mean, rules of that.
While I will be commanding the mission, we will have the guidance of General Dodonna, who will accompany us, and who knows our objective well. Any questions? Good. Well then, to your craft, and may the Force be with you. The mission is no more or less dangerous than a score of others recently flown. Yet an imminence hangs in the air, along with the sweet scent of the chalk. The time to discuss the new training program when we get back. Time enough to discuss the new training program when we get back. I want to stay fresh and focused. The moist air muffles screaming engines, but still a million creatures stir uneasily below the canopy of trees at the sound. Perhaps they hear death in it.
The ride went well. But the transport ship and more important vehicles become secure. This will come in handy at some point. We will have to meet clear interesting. I don't like the the swamps. Believe me, this is a time to just wait them out. TIE fighters have quite limited life support capacity. That must be a brilliant piece of spinning rock in this field. Which one do? Dead.
I think you need to speak up again.
They search long enough to appease their superiors until one of them crashes. Salute. Then they'll report we were smashed bits in here.
We can't just sit here. Can't you get those air regenerators to work? If they spot us, we can't evade. Not in this freighter. They'll just destroy us where we sit. Sewell is determined to act, no matter what Dodonna says. The argument is furious and protracted. It is something Dodana would never knowingly let personnel under his command witness. The same discretion keeps him from mentioning it at the memorial service.
General Sewell decided to act as a decoy. He would transfer to honor, not the intention of the Imperium, and as he put it, give them saves. To complete the illusion, the two other were powerful, controlled by slave circuit, mimic his petty. I cannot stress the dangers of his flight.
Okay, they see me. 4 of them. Come and get me, suckers. Never an expert pilot, Rune Sewell transcends himself. He darts about the asteroids like a quick little animal in its element. It is second nature to him now, to be the trickster prey. The first casualty of the chase is one of the remote piloted aircraft. So much the better to sell the illusion of desperation, Rune thinks. Lost one, but that'll just make the ties hungrier for me. The speeds are dizzying and unreal. The space rock flashes by like hurricane rain. In a stillness that is suddenly strange, the others sense with every muscle in their sympathy with their general.
Sewell, report.
Still here. Close one. Blast, they got another one. Suddenly, 100-million-year-old rock colder than any Hoth glacier does the work of the rebellion. Wahoo! One eyeball down. Every sense heightened, the slowed Rune Sewell. Time slows. Rune Sewell is as alive as any human can be. He dodges bantha-sized rocks and energy bolts that glare like moments of genius. It's like some grand improvisation on stage, terrifying and glorious. No petty anxiety of life, no nagging self-hatred, no carping of critics could even scratch such a gleaming moment. Rune Sewell dies happily. Dodana describes the event only as heroic sacrifice, and it may have been unnecessary and perhaps driven by demons of fear or perhaps guilt are the possibilities he keeps to himself.
A message was found among his effects. He tested that yes, some of his former trials. The reader had any remembrance of him. He is still out there, I suppose, frozen and nature among the stars. If tyranny's cold grasp will tighten, what is left but to endure? One man, one woman, a grain of sand in that clammy blood, fellowship of misery. But if some strange fires fulfill that sand, compact glass, then what newborn is might follow good and peace? Is he at peace? They are being shaping what? Let it happen. The sample is glass, yes, flexible, as steel. Each falling comrade is a hammer blow. Put along with it, let that strange fire make you harden for the vapors ahead. Sample and more daring battles to come. With fire, but as an honor, I love it.
Dodana lets the words hang in the air. They are words calculated to inspire, a wedding of unknown quantities of truth and artifice. But with all his tangled feelings about the man, Dodana is sure of one thing. A personality that was compelling through its sheer size is gone, as if golden Yavin itself had disappeared from the sky, leaving blue emptiness. He lets a quiet moment pass, then speaks.
And now we have a release. Company dismissed.
The end. And yes, that is indeed the end of the comic. So, what do you think?
Well, compared with the first part of this story, there is a lot less child murdering and terrorism, other than the usual.
Yeah, he does mellow out a bit in comparison to how he was at the first part. Oh, God, the first part.
I mean, I still think that killing 3 other teenagers was a bit excessive, to say the least. But I suppose with time, he will a lot of such moments, so to speak. And he seems to have turned out more or less fine. So, if nothing else, I can say that this short story of 2 comics has a good character, not a good person, but a good character.
Yep, an interesting character, definitely.
So between the story and the art, this is a very good comic.
Yeah. I think this is a pretty good one as well. This is yet another example of how to do Star Wars correctly. And
you don't have to make a perfect character. Don't do that. Those suck. Make someone that has flaws, that maybe even be a bit of a shit person, but that the person itself grows.
Mm-hmm. I think we could all say at this point that, for example, Anakin is a better character than Rey.
There is no question about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Rey was made to be as close to perfect as you can make her, which made her shit. While Anakin had a lot of crap to grow out of, went on a murder rampage once.
Just once?
I mean, before he fell to the dark side. Because after that, I am not going to count. I mean, he started big. Let's kill children. But yeah, as Anakin, he was a very good character. Rey is not a character.
I mean, Anakin remained an interesting character throughout his entire life, even as Darth Vader. I mean, if anything, you could make the case that he peaks as Darth Vader, but...
Yeah, but if nothing else, he goes through a lot of shit because he basically gets enslaved by his quote-unquote master.
Mm-hmm.
And at least in the end, he atones, he is turned as one with the Force, and I suppose from time to time, if nothing else, he gets to meet with his son, to make up for lost time in a weird way.
Yeah, in a weird way, a very weird way.
I mean, I am dead, son, but I am here.
Alright, but yeah, so ultimately, I think this is yet another example, like I said, of how to do a Star Wars comic properly. And really, what more is there to say? Do you have anything else to add, Eros?
Well, other than, as you said, this is a very good comic for the franchise. It is a short comic. It is 2 chapters, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a huge story or anything complex. It's relatively simple, short and sweet.
Yes.
I will say that more people should read this one.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree.
Oh, you piece of shit, Nathan! Do you want to remind me of this now?
Alright, so I think we are in a good time to go ahead and call it. So, yeah, this has been Ace.
And this has been Uras.
And we both hope to see you all again soon. Until then, take care. Ace out. Alright, so since we've been having issues with the streams cutting out early, what I'm going to do is wait until the stream officially gets to that end point, and then I can go ahead and end the stream there. Okay, it looks like it's... Yeah, alright, so now's a good time to go ahead and end it. There we are.